Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hacking Pixels. Hacking Pixels covers some of the hottest cybersecurity news from around the internet, along with a twist of retro video game nostalgia. Hacking Pixels is brought to you by Actionable Security, securing small businesses with actionable insights. Actionable Security specializes in cybersecurity services tailored for small businesses, such as risk assessments, email hardening, virtual chief information security officer advisory, and a lot more. Go to actionablesec.com for more information. Happy New Year and welcome to our season premiere in episode 13 of Hacking Pixels. I'm your host, Frank Morano, founder of Actionable Security and retro game enthusiast. Today we're going to talk about 2026 cybersecurity trends, how to better protect your backups, and cybersecurity risks to small businesses, followed by our retro game of the month. I'm excited to kick off 2026 with a big announcement: WordPress Risk Spotlight, a new service designed to help small businesses quickly identify vulnerabilities in their WordPress environment. For $4.99, you get a fast, authoritative health check that shines a light on hidden risks, scans your WordPress footprint, and makes sure that you're following best practices to keep the attackers out. I built WordPress Risk Spotlight because too many small businesses were getting hurt by reoccurring WordPress flaws. This service makes it affordable and approachable to understand where your site is exposed, so you could take action before the attackers do. It's not about adding another layer of protection, it's about giving you clarity and confidence so your WordPress environment can be better secured. Besides WordPress Risk Spotlight, we've also been giving more attention to our YouTube channel. It's packed with bite sized security tips, service overviews, and all episodes of the Hacking Pixels podcast, plus some retro gaming fun. If you haven't subscribed, now's the time. It's the easiest way to stay sharp on security without feeling overwhelmed. Lastly, we made a few changes to the podcast. The biggest being I'm now editing it myself using Adobe Podcast. While a little buggy, Adobe Podcast is pretty great. It lets me edit the podcast like a Word document and allows me to make clips for it and short audiograms for our bite sized security shorts on YouTube. You heard the updates, now let's talk tech. CES came and went, and micro RGB TVs were everywhere. These TVs are similar to micro LED TVs already on the market, but instead of using a single white or blue LED, micro RGB uses red, green, and blue LEDs for more precise color control and a picture closer to OLED without some of the drawbacks. These TVs will be hitting stores this year, and I'm going to certainly keep my eye out for one of them since I've been looking to upgrade my office TV for quite some time. Next up, the makers of the Pebble Watch have announced a ring called the Index One, which is billed as external memory for your brain. With a simple push, you could capture your thoughts anytime, anywhere, set reminders, add calendar entries, and more. Best of all, it doesn't need to be charged. I'm pretty excited about this since I always have these random thoughts throughout the day that I forget. I already have mine on order. More CES news: Wi Fi 8 was announced, promising ultra high reliability. The new standard emphasizes ultra low latency, smarter spectrum use, and router to router cooperation to fix real world Wi Fi frustrations like congestion, jitter, and dead zones. Which all sounds good, but you will have to replace your phone, PC, tablet, and other devices with Wi Fi 8 capable devices to really take advantage of these new features. I'll probably be sticking with my Eero Pro 6 mesh Wi Fi system until it dies. I bought it 5 years ago and it's been rock solid, a truly set and forget system that's still receiving automatic security updates. Lastly, another CES announcement: Amazon is entering the digital art TV frame market with the Ember art line. Similar to Samsung's Frame, it features a matte, glare reducing screen, integration with Amazon Photos, access to 2,000 free art pieces, and swappable magnetic frames at a lower price than the Samsung. The free artwork alone is a reason to look at this, since Samsung charges you a monthly fee for access. That's all for tech news. Let's talk AI. Continuing with our tradition of letting AI talk AI, here's the latest from Notebook LM.
This is the brief on the dual reality of AI. You've got these powerful new utilities and these escalating security risks. So AI is rapidly moving past simple chatbots. We're now seeing autonomous agents capable of managing healthcare, finding jobs, and more. But this autonomy introduces some really high security risks that we need to address, like yesterday. First, AI is moving from chat to action. You've got Anthropic pushing its model, Claude, into healthcare. It can now connect to insurance databases to handle things like prior authorizations, all by itself. Think about it. Approving a robotic-assisted lung biopsy with no human needed. And you see this everywhere. ChatGPT's testing a jobs feature, and Google Maps is getting a huge upgrade with Gemini for visual guides. Second, the downside. These amazing capabilities, they're being weaponized. OpenAI has actually warned the risk is now high. We're seeing bad actors use AI to automate their attacks and streamline their whole criminal workflow. OpenAI's response is their preparedness framework and a new security agent, Aardvark, which is basically built to hunt for code vulnerabilities. And finally, securing this agentic AI, software that acts on its own, requires a complete rethink. Static policies just aren't enough when an agent can be tricked into an action-level exploit, like changing a database. So the answer seems to be runtime controls. Basically, we need to monitor the AI's behavior in real time, validating its intent as it works. So here's the bottom line. While AI is becoming a capable assistant for critical tasks, this big shift toward autonomous agents means we have to completely overhaul how we secure our digital infrastructure. Keep your guardrails dynamic and your resume updated. See you next time.
Always interesting. It just shows the rapid evolution of AI and how it's expanding into specialized sectors like healthcare. But luckily, it sounds like we have at least a few people thinking about security. As another fun experiment, we actually fed a bunch of articles from the Actionable Security blog into Notebook LM and asked it to create a video for us. We posted the results on our YouTube channel. I'll post a link in the show notes if you want to see what happened. And while we always have a lot of fun with Notebook LM, Google just introduced a way to turn your daily news into a podcast through the Google News app. So we'll definitely be testing this out to see if it's any better than what we're getting out of Notebook LM. Enough about AI, let's get to our first story. First story, the top 5 cybersecurity trends small businesses can't ignore in 2026. If you thought 2025 was chaotic, buckle up. Attackers are treating 2026 like a season finale plot twist, and small businesses are squarely in the crosshairs. Not because you're sitting on mountains of cash, but because you're easier to break into, easier to monetize, and far less protected than the big guys. Here are some trends we're seeing. AI-powered attacks are getting personal. AI isn't just generating memes and questionable LinkedIn motivation posts anymore. Attackers are using it to craft hyper-personalized phishing messages, mimic writing styles, and even simulating internal workflows. That means more fake invoices that look real, more urgent CEO requests, and more social engineering that feels scarily legit. What should you do? Train your team, turn on MFA everywhere, and stop assuming you're too small to be targeted. AI doesn't care about your size, only your vulnerabilities. Ransomware is becoming ransom everything. Ransomware groups have evolved. Encrypting your files is just one revenue stream now. In 2026, they're stealing your data, leaking it, auctioning it, extorting you with it, and sometimes destroying it just for fun. Small businesses get hit the hardest because backups are outdated, hardware is ancient, and patching is, well, we'll get to it eventually. What should you do? Test your backups, store them off-site, patch your systems before the attackers do it for you. Supply chain attacks are the new break one, breach many strategy. Attackers realize something brilliant and terrifying. If they compromise one vendor, they could hit dozens, even hundreds of downstream businesses. Your MSP, your cloud tools, your integrations, your IoT devices. If it plugs in or logs in, it's part of your supply chain and therefore part of your risk. What should you do? Ask vendors real security questions, review permissions, and stop giving every tool full admin access just because it's easier. Quantum error prep is no longer optional. Quantum computers aren't breaking encryption tomorrow, but attackers are already playing the long game. They're stealing encrypted data today, knowing they'll be able to decrypt it later. Small businesses often think quantum threats are big company problems. They're not. What should you do? Start adopting quantum safe standards as they emerge. Reduce how long you store sensitive data. Map where your most valuable information lives. Lastly, legacy tech is becoming a liability. If your office router is old enough to remember MySpace, congratulations, you're a prime target for 2026. End of life devices don't get patches, don't get firmware updates, and don't support modern security protocols. Attackers love outdated tech because it's predictable. Small businesses love outdated tech because it still works. Those two facts don't mix. What should you do? Inventory your hardware, replace unsupported devices. Stop treating your network like a museum of vintage electronics. Individually, each of these trends is concerning. Together, they create the perfect storm. AI makes attacks faster and more convincing. Ransomware groups are expanding their playbooks. Supply chain attacks mean you can be compromised even if you didn't make a mistake. Quantum threats raise the stakes for long term data exposure, and outdated tech opens the door for all of it. Attackers are scaling, automating, industrializing their operations. Small businesses are understaffed, under resourced, and overwhelmed. The gap is exactly where a breach happens. The businesses that thrive in 2026 will be the ones that treat cybersecurity as a strategic priority, not a last minute chore. Next up, new Veeam Flaws show why your backups need real security, not just luck. Let's talk about the new Veeam vulnerabilities and why they're a wake up call for anyone who thinks backups magically protect themselves. One of the flaws allowed backup or tape operators to trigger remote code execution as the Postgres user, which means the wrong person with the wrong access could make your backup server run malicious code. Not great. The bigger issue, backup servers are already prime ransomware targets. If attackers could corrupt or delete your backups, you're out of options. So here's what actually matters: isolate your backup environment, enforce MFA, keep everything patched, turn on ransomware and anomaly scanning, use immutable or air gap storage, and test your restores automatically. A backup that isn't secured or tested is just a very expensive illusion. Last story: the top 5 cyber risks every small business must face. Let's break these down, and here's the reality check. Small businesses suffered nearly 4 times as many confirmed breaches as large enterprises last year. Cybersecurity isn't optional anymore, it's survival. Risk number one, to no one's surprise, is phishing and social engineering. It's still the easiest way in, and attackers are getting better at impersonating executives, vendors, and agencies. You want to train your team, verify requests, and filter aggressively. Next up is ransomware, the threat that locks you out of your own business and then threatens to leak your data. Regular backups, MFA, and patching are your lifelines here. Third is malware, from spyware to info stealers. It slips in through emails, bad websites, or infected devices. Good cyber hygiene plus MDR gives you eyes on every endpoint. Fourth, weak passwords and credential theft. Uh, Reused and simple passwords are basically leaving keys under the mat. Use MFA and password managers with no exceptions. And finally, insider threats and human error. Most breaches start with a mistake, not malice. Limit access, train regularly, and monitor what matters. Small businesses get hit the hardest because they run lean, and attackers know it. So focus on the essentials: MFA everywhere, MDR, tested backups, strong passwords, device management. email security, least privilege, and consistent patching. Let's take a break from the serious stuff and talk about something a little bit more nostalgic. We're starting off the new year and new season with another NES classic. Our featured retro video game this month features the Blue Bomber himself, Mega Man, for the original Nintendo Entertainment System. Mega Man, known as Rockman in Japan, is a 1987 action platform game developed and published by Capcom for the Nintendo Entertainment System. For It's the first installment in the Mega Man franchise. Mega Man was produced by a small team specifically for the home console market, a first for Capcom, which up until that point focused on arcade video games. The game follows Mega Man in his quest to save the world from the mad scientist Dr. Wily and the six robot masters under his control. Mega Man's nonlinear gameplay lets the player choose the order in which to complete the initial six stages. Each stage ends in a boss battle against one of the robot masters that awards the player a unique weapon. Part of the strategy of the game is that the player must carefully choose the order in which to tackle the stages so that they could earn weapons that will be the most useful for future stages. Critics praised Mega Man for its overall design. Mega Man established many of the gameplay, story, and graphical conventions that would define the ensuing sequels, subseries, and spin offs of the Mega Man franchise. The game has since been released in game collections such as Mega Man Legacy Collection, which was ported to mobile phones, and console emulation services. A sequel, Mega Man 2, was released the following year, and a remake with 3D graphics titled Mega Man Power Up was released for the PlayStation Portable in 2006. A few fun facts: Mega Man's original name is Rock, and his sister's name is Roll, a play on the term rock and roll. This type of naming would later be extended to many characters throughout the series. Mega Man made it to the small screen but was green. Mega Man is green in Captain N, the Game Master, because the show's character designer, Phil Barlow, played the game on a faulty TV with poor color settings that made the blue robot appear green, and no one in production corrected it, leading to a bizarre, memorable design. Anyway, back in the day, Capcom was known for quality games, and Mega Man was no exception. Well, except for that ugly box art. There are a lot of great Mega Man games out there, but the original was always my favorite, probably due to the sheer amount of time I put into it since it didn't have a battery or password system to save your progress. I remember keeping my NES on for days just so I didn't have to start all over again. I love that you could essentially choose your own adventure with Mega Man, choosing one of the six Robot Masters to start. That ability was always a game changer back in the 80s. I also loved when you beat the boss, you obtained their weapon and had to use your head to figure out what weapon worked best for each stage. It was one of those few games at the time that had an interesting story set in the year 2000X. Yeah, Mega Man is now set in the past. Dr. Light and Dr. Wily co created Mega Man alongside the six Robot Masters. Dr. Wily, angered by Dr. Light taking credit for their work and desiring to use his creations for criminal purposes, steals the Robot Masters and then reprograms them, then creates his own army of robots to seize control of the city and declare it his own personal empire. Dr. Light, horrified by Wily's betrayal, sends Mega Man to destroy the Robot Masters and free the city from Wily. Not the in depth stories you get in games today, but still better than just saving the princess. It was also one of the few games you had to defeat replicas of the Robot Master bosses right before the final showdown. To say Mega Man is hard is an understatement. I played Mega Man with my son recently, and it just seems impossible at times. I guess that was good back in the day when you had one game and a lot of time on your hands, but now I need an easy mode. There were a lot of first experiences with Mega Man, which is what made it such a great game. Capcom just announced the 12th Mega Man game, Mega Man Dual Override, coming out in 2027. Not much is known about it other than it will be a 2D Mega Man game. With Mega Man's 40th anniversary coming up, I hope that there are some more surprises in store for us. If you want to watch me play Mega Man badly and hear some off the cuff thoughts, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hacking Pixels Plays is something new that we're trying. It may be a little rough around the edges, but it's still some good old retro fun. Besides seeing me play Mega Man badly, we've already uploaded videos on Golden Axe, Ocarina of Time, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Tetris, and Super Mario Bros. That's all, folks. Thanks for listening. Join us next month, same bad time, same bad channel. And remember, this episode of Hacking Pixels is brought to you by Actionable Security, your trusted partner in safeguarding small businesses. With decades of experience, Actionable Security offers tailored cybersecurity services such as risk assessments, email hardening, and virtual chief information security officer advisory. For more details on how we can help protect your business, visit actionablesec.com.